Hey guys, nice to see you again. I know it's been some time since I've done a video, and today we're gonna get things back on track. With it being summer, knowing everybody's taking road trips or taking time off, sometimes you need a little way to pass the time. So today we're gonna play a little game that's going to be fun and educational and also weave in some pop culture. Probably the last video that you saw was a Game of Thrones video that I did recapping last season. So today we're actually going to take some of the Game of Thrones characters and throw them into a little game that I like to call Dude, Bro, or Fuckboy. Now this is a little game that you can play with friends or play with yourself. And it's definitely a lot more fun than playing I Spy or looking at license plates from different states if you're in a car and traveling. You could play it with any character from, say, Game of Thrones, The Office, wrestling, who your favorite wrestler is, are they a dude, bro, or a fuckboy? But in order to play this game, first we gotta set some ground rules. And these aren't so much rules as they are definitions. In order to be able to classify somebody as a dude, bro, or a fuckboy, you have to know what they are first. So at the top of the food chain, you have dudes. Now, a dude is a person who looks out for their friends, generally keeps their cool, and adheres to a personal code of honor, even if they can sometimes be a dick. You could still be a dick and still be a dude at the same time. A dude has seen some shit and wants to impart wisdom to help others get through that shit that they're going through and attain eventual dudedom. Dudes want to help other people level up. They may not, be the nicest people all the time. Sometimes dudes are just great dudes. But in a lot of instances, sometimes dudes can be a little grizzled, and that's okay. We've all seen some shit. That's part of it. So right below dudes on the food chain, you have bros. Bros are generally pretty good guys too. Sometimes they can seem a little douchey, but they're generally all right guys. So a bro is a person who can be relied on to have a friend's back, similar to a dude, but not quite as enlightened. Bros may travel in packs, unlike dudes who are a bit more self-sufficient. And bros can be a little messy at times, but they won't whine like a fuckboy. A bro isn't perfect. They're good people, but yeah, they have some issues, they're still in that growing phase, and you gotta cut them some slack because at heart they're an alright person. And finally, that brings us to fuckboys. A fuckboy is a person who will typically put themselves and their needs first, chiefly, but not limited to, getting laid. They'll do this even though they know it's not the right thing to do. They really don't care. They may care, they may have a moment of conscience, but ultimately it's really all about them and getting theirs. Fuckboys will also whine quite a bit. Now, being a fuckboy does not necessarily make one a bad person. It's possible to be a mostly good person and still have fuckboy tendencies. Same as a dude can sometimes be a dick. A fuckboy can be a good person at heart, but they're far less evolved than a bro, and has a lot of growing to do because, yeah, they are very self-absorbed and self-centered. Now, not everybody is going to fit neatly into the category of dude, bro, or fuckboy. There are some other outliers and other, fringe elements like freak boys or pieces of shit. These are very real categories, but most people can be squished into either a dude, bro, or fuckboy category. So now that, like Rick Astley, you know the rules and so do I, let's get started and play and figure out who from Game of Thrones is a dude, bro, or a fuckboy. So what we're going to do is start off with some classic examples of each of those three. And we'll just kind of tick on down the list, and we're probably not going to cover everybody today, so maybe we do a separate video and get a movement going on behind the dude, bro, fuckboy game. First up, Ned Stark. Ned Stark is a classic dude. He always does the right thing, even if it pains him to do so. He lives by a code of conduct or honor, even when it's not the easiest thing to do. So Ned Stark, to the core, is a dude. He is the dude of dudes. All hail Ned Stark. Next we have Jon Snow. Snow is a bro, to the core. Snow bro. Jon's a little messy, has got some growing to do, not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, but his heart's in the right place. That, to me, kind of exemplifies being a bro. Yeah, you like to hang out with your friends, you're probably throwing back, a couple of tankards of mead or giant's milk with your bro Tormund. also a bro. We'll get to that later. But yeah, Jon Snow is definitely a snow bro. And that brings us to the prime exemplifier of the term fuckboy, Jaime Lannister. Now, Jaime's a bit of a tricky one, and this is a great example of how fuckboys aren't necessarily completely bad people. Not the biggest fan of Jaime for how he did Brienne dirty, but, you know, beyond that, just examining him as a whole and as a person. Yeah, Jaime can do the right thing at times, but ultimately, if it comes down to him and his greatest wants and needs, he will not sacrifice for the greater good. Jaime's going to do Jaime, and probably his sister, but he's out for number one. So yeah, Jaime is definitely a fuckboy, not a completely horrible person, but not the greatest guy either, but definitely a fuckboy. So now let's kind of get into some characters where it's a little bit more complicated to try and figure out whether they're a dude bro or a fuckboy and where they fall on the spectrum. So first up, one of my favorites, Tyrion. Tyrion wants to be like his big brother. He wants to be a fuckboy. And even though Tyrion gets laid a lot, you know, sometimes pays for it, you know, visits the brothels, all right? No judgment. Just because you get laid on the regular and pay for it, that doesn't make you a fuckboy. That just means you're a Jon. But in theory, Tyrion does look up to his brother, Jaime, and he does kind of want to be like him. But at his core, he's a much better person. And Tyrion is actually a dude who has fuckboy tendencies and wants to be a fuckboy, but his better nature supersedes that, and he's certainly far more dude and capable of making the right decision and will do the right thing. Even in his relationships, yeah, when he was with Shay, the funny whore, who eventually did him dirty, and that was bullshit. With Shay, he was very loyal to her. He wasn't going to cheat on her, and that again is a tenet of dudedom. You're not a cheater. You don't do somebody wrong. So Tyrion is definitely a dude who wishes he were a fuckboy, but is actually too good to indulge in those fuckboy tendencies long term. Bronn. Bronn's a sellsword, and he wishes he was a fuckboy. You know, he also likes getting laid, enjoys his time in the brothels, ready to kick over some coin to boost the economy with a good old-fashioned dose of whoring in a safe and clean environment. Bronn is another guy like Tyrion, which is why they're birds of feather, who wishes he was a fuckboy, but at the same time, he's not a fuckboy, he's actually a bro. Yes, while he is a mercenary and may want to act in his best interest, ultimately he will have a friend's back and does the right thing, even if it does put him in danger. He's not quite a dude, he's not completely altruistic in that sense, but you know, he did save Jaime. Not too many guys are gonna tackle somebody out of the path of a flaming dragon and put themselves in peril like that. So Bronn's definitely a bro, and he's come to Tyrion's aid on many an occasion. So Bronn is a reliable dude, not a dude, but a bro. You can count on Bronn, yeah. Now Theon Greyjoy, he's an interesting one. Theon started out as a full-blown fuckboy. He was an opportunist, did some shady things, turned on people, did things for himself, but that corrected course once he found himself in the clutches of everybody's favorite whack job, Ramsay Bolton. Now once Ramsay Bolton cut his penis off, Theon became Reek and had a little bit of a metamorphosis here, and eventually Theon, without having his pecker in the way of his thinking, morphed into a bro and started to do the right thing. He's certainly not a dude, he's not that evolved, but Theon found his better nature after getting his penis whacked off, and not whacked off because he can't whack off anymore, but Theon evolved into a bro before he died. So, redemption arc for Theon. And another one of my favorites, the Hound, Sandor Clegane. He falls into the category of dude, definitely. Very much like Ned Stark, he does the right thing. The difference is Ned is just a really good guy. He's a sweetie if you wanted to hang out with him. But the Hound's a little crusty. You know, not always the easiest to like from the jump, but a good guy who does want to help others. He certainly helped Arya, he helped Sansa, trying to find help both of them find their path and to take them out of the path of danger. He's seen some shit, you know, Ned Stark's seen some shit, but, you know, let's face it, Sandor has really seen some shit. And he doesn't want to see others go through some of the same issues and problems he's done. He's more of a protector. And a dude is definitely a protector, so I would put the Hound in the category of being a dude. Yet another favorite, as we'd mentioned before, Tormund Giantsbane, the wildling, the red-headed ginger firebrand who has a thing for Brienne of Tarth. Tormund is definitely a bro. He's, not only is he Jon Snow's bro, but he's a bro to everybody. He is a bro to the realm. Good guy, will always have your back, and even he's still selfless regardless. Like, say if you told Tormund, hey dude, either leave Jon Snow hanging or you don't get a night with the girl of your dreams, Brienne of Tarth. Even though he's, you know, enamored with Brienne, Tormund would probably say, no dude, I've got Jon Snow's back. That's my bro. So that is the definition of a bro. So Tormund, you have attained bro status. Now here's where we're going to get into some of the outliers here. Some of these guys defy classification and the waters get a little muddy here. It's not quite as cut and dry. So we have Bran Stark, Bran who became the king, Bran the Broken. Really shitty name. I wouldn't want to be Bran the Broken if I was king. Anyway, Bran is not a fuckboy, bro, or dude. Mostly because we don't know exactly how much of Bran is in there and how much of that is the three-eyed raven. Bran's a little bit of a freak boy in his present state. He kind of just pops up, he materializes, says like, you know, 2 to 3 words, stares aimlessly, and Bran knows a lot. So in a sense, Bran may be a dude, but he's kind of a weird metaphysical dude. So Bran is a lot more of a freak boy, one of those weird outliers that defy classification. Bran's a little creepy. He may know everything, but he might eat his own boogies. I don't know. Not a bad guy. He has the best interest of the realm at heart. He's seen things kind of like Doctor Strange. He knows all of the permutations of how things can shake out, and he tries to achieve the best possible aim for everybody and do the right thing. So a little bit of a dude, but definitely a freak boy. Next, still on the topic of freak boy, but a different shade of freak boy, we have Qyburn. Qyburn is definitely a freak boy. He's a necromancer. He's into playing with the dead, tinkering with things. He's a little creepy. But being a freak boy doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. Qyburn is a freak and has some very strange and unsavory tendencies. However, there's this weird, almost heartwarming type of friendship he has with Cersei, where he does seem to care about her and look after her in this weird, freaky, paternalistic way. It's weird. He's always like, "Your Grace," you know. He wants to make sure she's gets to safety. And how much of that is, you know, like Qyburn wanting to protect his little place where he has like his own personal little laboratory where he can conduct freaky experiments and, you know, be his best freak boy self. I don't know. But I think he genuinely liked Cersei, so Qyburn, definitely a freak boy. Now we have Samwell Tarly. I'm going to put him in the category of bro. He's a little tougher to figure out. He's you know, not quite fitting into one of those neat categories, but I would say Sam is definitely a bro. He looks after people. He's not quite attained dude status. You know, he's a little messy in some areas, but a good guy, definitely somebody who wants to learn and help raise his other bros up. But Samwell Tarly, definitely a bro. An unconventional bro, but a bro nonetheless. Now we have Greyworm. Now Greyworm started out as a bro. Greyworm is a good guy. He, you know, had the backs of his unsullied brethren, was all in and committed to Daenerys' cause. Found love with Missandei. Like Theon, didn't have a penis, so it was definitely more of a pure love that he had for her. He was definitely a bro, not a dude, because he's still more of a follower as opposed to a leader, even though he had leadership capabilities. By the end, his bro kind of devolved into fuckboyness, and part of that may have been because he drank a little too much of the Daenerys Kool-Aid, and also he was, you know, pretty damn bereaved seeing Missandei beheaded. Greyworm is actually an inverse of Theon, which is odd. There are parallels between the two. both were castrated, and Theon started out as a fuckboy and became a bro, and Greyworm started out as a bro and then became a fuckboy. Granted, you can't, say like, he was a fuckboy, through and through. It doesn't negate that, he was an alright guy and he had been through some pretty hellacious things. Well, we've already covered 2 of the eunuchs, so let's go for the trifecta. Varys. And in true trifecta fashion, Varys is actually a dude. So you have the triumvirate of, the 3 eunuchs of Game of Thrones, Theon, Varys, and Greyworm. And one's a fuckboy turned bro, one's a bro turned fuckboy, and Varys is actually a dude. Even though he's a little shady at times, Varys always had the best interests of the realm at heart, and did try to look after people. So Varys is certainly a dude, despite what people might initially think. If you actually examine him far more closely, Varys is a dude, and a very good dude. Varys also proves that you do not need a penis to be a dude. In fact, all of these classifications, many of them can be ascribed to women. Not every woman is going to be a dude, bro, or fuckboy, or whatever the female equivalent is. I haven't even really figured that one out myself yet either. But quite a few women can fall into these categories too. So you don't need a penis to be a dude. Jorah Mormont, Sir Friendzone, good guy, definitely a dude, always tried to do the right thing. A little bit of Tyrion in him, which is probably why they made, such great traveling companions for a brief time. He wishes he could be a fuckboy. He really, really wishes. He's kind of had to watch Daenerys scamper off with lesser men, but through it all he does the right thing, he does what he believes is right, and looks for the better of the realm. But in the end, Jorah Mormont was a dude. Littlefinger, Petyr Baelish, fuckboy. So much fuckboy. That guy is going to do whatever pleases him. He runs brothels. He's whispering in one person's ear one thing and doing something else on the other side. Ultimately, he would have loved to have some sweet Catelyn Tully stank on his swing-low, and that really was his major MO. Littlefinger did want to get laid. He really had a hard-on, literal and figurative, for Cat, and that pushed him to do some unsavory things. So yeah, Littlefinger, definitely a duplicitous fuckboy. Piece of shit. That is another one of those classifications, piece of shit. I would say Littlefinger definitely kind of straddles that line. There are others who are just complete pieces of shit, like Joffrey, who's an incestuous flavor of piece of shit. Ramsay Bolton, definitely a piece of shit / freak boy. The Mountain, big piece of shit. But Littlefinger is a fuckboy / piece of shit, so he's a unique one. And we have Khal Drogo. Khal Drogo is definitely a bro. Not a dude, not a fuckboy, definitely a bro. It's funny, Jason Momoa plays a lot of bros. He plays Aquaman, who's essentially Aqua Bro at this point. Khal Drogo, he was on Baywatch. In real life, Jason Momoa seems like he would be a dude. Really seems like a stand-up guy. He plays a lot of bros, and Khal Drogo is no different. Khal Drogo is a bro. Bro on horseback. And the last guy that we're going to go over here is another fan favorite, Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper, the Dornish Inigo Montoya. Oberyn Martell is an example of a fuckboy, but a good one. Similar to how, you have the classic trope of the hooker with a heart of gold. Oberyn Martell is actually a fuckboy with a heart of gold. Being a fuckboy doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. Yes, you will put your needs first, as opposed to always doing the right thing. Yes, Oberyn did stand up for Tyrion in trial by combat, but part of that was a little bit selfish in that he wanted to avenge his sister, which is not a selfish act. Oberyn likes sex. He likes sex a lot, but he also has a heart, wants to take care of, his family, avenge his family, and he's actually a very good person. So yes, Oberyn Martell is proof that you can be a fuckboy and still be a good guy too. Obviously, A Song of Ice and Fire is a vast universe that George R.R. Martin created, and we've only covered a handful of characters, not even, scratched the surface. So I'd love to do a future version of this, another edition. Maybe we include some other fan favorites that we haven't gotten to in this video. And yes, I think we can even cover some women who fit the category of dude, bro, or fuck boy. There's definitely some very strong female characters in here who do fit those molds, and I think it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of an example of a couple of those ladies. But for now, we're just going to cap it here. So I hope you've had fun, and it was nice to get back in the swing of things and do another video, and I will definitely have some more content coming your way soon. A couple other fun videos, some featuring my buddy Sammy, my favorite stuffed friend. We'll do a couple videos on writing, some tips, more stuff on pop culture, and if you have any ideas or any topics you'd like me to cover, I'd love to hear from you. So please drop that in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe. I would really love that, and that way you stay alerted. If not, no big, all good. I hope you've had a great time, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.